position? Am I just filling out? Taking space, not with as much grace. Am I a second choice of all the not Rolls Royce? Dresses and lace help me now. Oh, if it's not my business, then whose? When it's up to you to choose.
Hi everyone, I'm Jay and welcome. Today I'll be talking about the books I just couldn't resist buying this cozy season. But before we jump in, let's begin with a little outing to one of my favorite stores. So I have a mix of books from Barnes & Noble, Book of the Month, and Amazon, and I can't wait to share them with you. I have 8 that I'm really looking forward to reading this fall. There's a mix of literary fiction, sci-fi, fantasy, and some spooky reads. So let's get into it. Okay, so I'm surrounded by books, which is how it should be. The first book that I want to talk about is one that everybody is talking about right now, and that is Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. This author has a way of writing these raw, intimate character studies. I'm really excited about this one because it sounds like it's going to dive into some complex relationships, which is Rooney's thing. If you're like me and liked Normal People and Beautiful World, Where Are You? I think this one is going to be a must-read for us. I have mentioned in previous videos I don't like going into books knowing the whole synopsis, but I do like to give myself a little teaser of the first sentence, sometimes the first paragraph. This one is, aside from the fact that they are brothers, Peter and Ivan Kubik seem to have little in common. Peter is a Dublin lawyer in his 30s, successful, competent, and apparently unassailable. But in the wake of their father's death, he's medicating himself to sleep and struggling to manage his relationships with 2 very different women, his enduring first love, Sylvia, and Naomi, a college student for whom life is one long joke. I am really eager to read this. It's going to take a lot of restraint not to put down my October TBR and read this right now. Okay, next is my book of the month pick for October, and that is Dearest by Jackie Waters. I believe this might be categorized as lit fic, but from what I've heard, it's actually a creepy, haunting story. It's got a psychological horror feel to it, and it seems like it's gonna explore some pretty dark themes. The beginning of this synopsis is, Flora is a new mom enamored of her baby girl, Iris, who has arrived a few weeks early. But with her husband still deployed, Flora must navigate the newborn stage alone. As the sleepless nights pass in their half-empty home, the edges of her reality begin to blur. Household items seem to move of their own accord, and Flora is certain someone is talking to Iris through the baby monitor. Okay, so the next one that I picked up is The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. This one is a literary thriller. I love a good eerie vibe in the fall, and if this cover says anything, I'm really hoping that this one delivers on that. The beginning of the synopsis is early morning, August 1975. A camp counselor discovers an empty bunk. Its occupant, Barbara Van Laar, has gone missing. Barbara isn't just any 13-year-old. She's the daughter of the family that owns the summer camp and employs most of the region's residents. And this isn't the first time a Van Laar child has disappeared. Barbara's older brother similarly vanished 14 years ago, never to be found. As a panicked search begins, a thrilling drama unfolds. Sounds really good. Okay, so shifting gears a little bit, the next one that I picked up is The Ministry of Time by Colleen Bradley. I believe this is categorized as a sci-fi, and that it's about a secret organization that controls time to protect history. Sounds really interesting. In the near future, a civil servant is offered the salary of her dreams to work on a top secret project. A recently established government ministry is gathering expats from across history to establish whether time travel is feasible for the human body, but also for the fabric of space-time. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about this one, and I'm excited to read it. The next book is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harpman. This one, I believe, is a dystopian speculative fiction. I believe this follows a group of women who have been locked up underground and is about survival, isolation, and what it means to be human. The premise gives me chills, so I'm really curious to see how this one turns out. Deep underground, 39 women live imprisoned in a cage. Watched over by guards, the women have no memory of how they got there, no notion of time, and only a vague recollection of their lives before. Yeah, these all just sound so good. I just wish I could read them all through osmosis right now. This one I did as an add-on with my book of the month, and that is Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I don't buy all Riley Sager books, but almost. He is definitely an auto read for me. This is another thriller pick that I believe is about all the things that go bump in the night. Honestly, I don't know much about this one. The worst thing to ever happen on Hemlock Circle occurred in Ethan Marsh's backyard. One July night, 10-year-old Ethan and his best friend and neighbor Billy fell asleep in a tent set up on a manicured lawn in a quiet, quaint New Jersey cul-de-sac. In the morning, Ethan woke up alone. During the night, someone had sliced the tent open with a knife and taken Billy. He was never seen again. Okay, so I'm getting down to the last couple. This next one is I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid. I actually did pull the synopsis for this book along with other horrors and thrillers for my October TBR. And if you're interested in that, go check out that video. It was a lot of fun to make. I did plan to get this from my library, but it wasn't going to be available until November, so I couldn't have that. Went ahead and got it. I don't know much about it other than it's a psychological thriller meant to mess with our heads. Pretty sure it's about a couple on a road trip and things get dark and weird pretty fast. Definitely looking forward to this one, hoping it keeps me on the edge of my seat. Okay, the last book of my haul is actually 3 books. I picked this up about a month ago and haven't really discussed it yet, and that is the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. I've most recently read Sanderson's Skyward series, all except the last one, the 4th book that has come out, and I have loved that series. So I couldn't resist finally diving into Mistborn. This is a huge fantasy classic that I've been meaning to get to for a long time. The world building is supposed to be amazing, and it's got, I believe, a pretty cool magic system. So I'm really excited to explore this world. And these editions are just really beautiful and pretty floppy if you're into that. I know I am. The synopsis goes, once a hero arose to save the world, he failed. Ever since, the world has been a wasteland of ash and mist controlled by the immortal emperor known as the Lord Ruler. But hope survives. A new uprising is forming, one built around the ultimate caper, the cunning of a brilliant criminal mastermind, and the determination of an unlikely heroine, a street urchin who must learn to master the power of a mistborn. Yeah, I'm very excited to finally get into this world. So that's my cozy fall haul. We've got a bit of everything here, and I'm really excited to get into these books. If any of these caught your eye, or if you've read any of them, please let me know in the comments. And if you're looking for something to curl up with this fall, I hope that this gave you some inspiration. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I'll see you again soon. Happy reading. Hope you have a great rest of your day or night. Bye.